Hello, Science 21 teachers. STEM provides a digital environment for your grades 3 through 5 students to complete the supplemental assessment questions called the SAQs associated with each of the Science 21 units of study. The SAQs are a set of multiple choice items that measure the conceptual understanding of your students on the content presented within each Science 21 unit. More importantly, the SAQs serve as a practice vehicle helping to prepare your students for the New York State Grade 5 elementary level science test. One of the major benefits of using STEM's digital version of the SAQs is providing your students with practice answering questions in a computer-based testing environment like they will encounter on the state examination. Screen reading, navigating the digital environment, and entering answers to test items are all skills students must perfect before attempting the high-stakes state assessment. Another benefit of using digital STEMs is that your students can take each test multiple times, and all their attempts are recorded and reported to you. Students can practice the test not only in class, but also at home. Lastly, providing test materials in the STEM's electronic format shows students the importance of being good stewards of the environment by reducing the amount of paper used.
Hi, I'm Rick Ledbetter, and I'm with STEMs, and it's my pleasure to introduce Donna, who is a grade 5 teacher in New York, who uses the Science 21 curriculum and has graciously agreed to help us share STEMs and the SAQs with you. Donna, hello, and thank you so much for agreeing to this session.
Thank you for having me.
So to begin, what I'd like you to do is open a browser and go to stemsims.com and then go ahead and share your screen with us. Perfect. And then if you would, in the top right-hand corner, the login there, if you'd log in with your teacher account. And please note there are student accounts and teacher accounts. The teacher accounts obviously have the answers to everything and teacher tips and so forth. So the first thing we need to do is set up a class. So go ahead and select the Add Class button and then enter, where it says class name, let's just call it test class. So type in a name test class there. Our academic year is 2024, that's good. Academic semester, go ahead and select that and go to spring is fine. Grade level would be 5th grade, so select that. And then standard, select that and then scroll down to New York. Keep going, scroll down further. New York 3 through 5, keep going up. NYSP, there we go. Select that, good. And then the last thing there is for the assessments, you can require your students to complete all parts of the assessment before they can submit it or not complete all the parts. Normally, we just say they don't have to answer all the questions, so leave that selected as no, and then select the Save button. Perfect. So you've got your first class there. If you wanted to add a second class, you could do that. Just add another class. Next thing we need to do is put students in that class. So in the left menu, you see the tab that says students on the left side menu, a little bit down farther below. There we go. Select students. And you want to add students in the middle of the page, that blue button that says add students. And we've got a number of ways to do this. You can use different applications and import your students. If you can scroll down to the bottom of the page, at the very bottom of the page, you could enter students manually, select their name and put their name in. But today what we're going to do is we're going to add students that we import from a spreadsheet. So if you see where it says choose file, that button kind of in the top left, go ahead and choose the file. And then you have a CSV file, sample roster. Go ahead and select that, open it. Perfect. And you'll note that we have the students populated there. Students 1 through 5 are populated. So that's perfect. Everything there is good. We can now go to assignments, because what we want to do is make an assignment for these students. And go ahead to add assignments in the middle of the page. And if you notice, you on the left side of the page there, you have grades 3 through 5 selected, because that's what we said on this course. We have, that's perfect. We have the standards we pre-selected. It's down at the bottom. And then under categories, okay, go to New York, good, okay. And then under categories, go ahead and where it says select a category, choose, scroll down and choose Science 21. And now on the right side of the screen there, you'll see the SAQ. So these are the SAQ assessments. Go ahead and select grade 5. And let's select that first assessment, Unit 1, Session A. And where it says View Assign Assessment, not the lesson, but the assessment, good. Go ahead and select that. And now here is the assessment. That's the same thing as that's on the Science 21 supplemental assessment questions site. Only what we did is we broke this up into smaller segments. So instead of this assessment having 14 or 15 items, we broke it into probably 4 items maybe. If you scroll down, you can see how many are in there. That's 2, 3, 4. Good. So we broke it into 4. And the reason why we did this is we kind of wanted to chunk things and let students be able to work on this in little spaces, little time spaces that they had within the class. So they didn't have to sit down for 40 minutes or 45 minutes and answer all the questions. So what we want to do now is we're going to make this assignment for the student. So on the right where it says due date, see on the right, it says due date there, and there's a little calendar on the right side. Good. Select that calendar, and then let's select the 12th. Okay, good. And then create an assignment, the top blue button there. Perfect. And now you have this assignment in your class assignments for this class. You could have more assignments, add more assignments to this class. You could do a bunch of different things. But what we want to do now is we want to pretend that we're a student and we're going to go ahead and do this SAQ. So let's log out, top right-hand corner, log out as a teacher. And then we're going to log in to the student account. So go ahead, the student username. And the student password. And this is, all of your students will use the same username and password to get into STEMSIMS. But then once they're in, see we have our test class there, the student would select their class, so go ahead and select that. And then select student 1. Let's go ahead and select student 1. And the first time they sign in, they're going to be asked to create a password that only the student knows. So the first password that the students entered, all the students are going to do that. But this second password is unique for this student. So go ahead and just make up a password for this student, just a simple one. Anything is simple. And just make sure that you can confirm it. So I think you need 5 characters. That's good. And then confirm it. And then every time the student signed in, they would use that password. And there, now you see that one assignment that the student has. So go ahead and select that assignment. And there it is. So this, and if you would just go through, scroll down and just randomly select some answers. Don't worry if they're correct or not. Keep going and just randomly select them. Good. And one more. And then select the submit assessment. And it tells them how many they answered correctly. It doesn't say which ones they got right, wrong, doesn't share the correct answer with them. If you can, go see the save and return to assignments, click on that. And then every time the student tries this lesson or this assessment, it records that try. So go ahead and click on it again. Click on the assignment again. And I wanted to show you one little neat thing here. In the upper right-hand corner, see where it says select language? In the upper right-hand corner, select language. Go ahead and change it to scroll down and pick a language. French is good, okay. And the entire assessment was translated to that language. And so if you have non-native speakers, then they can do it. Now you can, on the left side, see where it says show original, click it back, and there you go. And if you would, go ahead and just click through again, randomly take it, and so we can see this time how well they did. And then submit it. So it's that easy on the student side. Now, if we can, go ahead and log out as the student, and we're going to log back in as the teacher. And then if you go to assignments on the left, and you click on that assignment, on the title of the assignment, you'll see student one's attempts. There are different grades that they made, and it shows the date they completed it. Everything is auto-graded, so you don't have to grade anything. The program grades it for them. If you go to students again, students, and select student one, you get a little bit more information about that student and the assessment. So you can see their attempt, but you can also see the time taken for that assessment. So it gives you a little bit more detail on that student's performance. Okay, so if we can go return to class there at the bottom. Good. If you go to resources in the top left-hand corner of the screen, resources, there is a help, go down to help. And you can see on the right side of the screen, if you scroll down a little bit, help videos are there that tell you how to create classes, what the lessons are, how to track students, looking at progress, and so forth. So there are many, many help videos there within that resources tab. So if I could get you to stop sharing, go ahead and stop sharing. Good. And I wanted to see if you had any questions generally about STEM Sims, SAQ, or kind of the major parts of the program, which keep in mind, the students have a general login that all the students use to get into STEM Sims. But remember, once they get into a class, then they have a unique password that they set up and that they can change, and you can change if needed.
Again, thank you, Donna, for taking the time to help us demonstrate STEM Sims and Science 21's SAQs. I also want to remind all Science 21 users that you currently have free access to STEM Sims SAQ using the non-tracking student option. Just go to stemsims.com, sign into STEM Sims, select Grade 5 and Science 21 from the Select Categories menu, and the SAQs will appear. And remember, all Science 21 users also have access to a limited number of free STEM Sims simulations, lessons, and assessments that appear here on screen. Please contact us at support@stemsims.com if you need help upgrading your STEM Sims account to tracking students or accessing any part of your STEM Sims account.